The coronavirus outbreak has applied the brakes on a lot of businesses globally, forcing them to adapt or to switch lanes entirely. From car makers, as we've been telling you, switching to face mask production and ventilator production as well, to airlines and hotels, laying off staff or asking employees to take unpaid leave. It's troubling times for companies and their staff. Now, I spoke to Michael Distefano, the Asia-Pacific Chief Executive of Korn Ferry, a little earlier. It's a management consulting firm that helps companies adapt to the current business climates. He told me that these firms need to map out future plans for when things eventually return to normal.
We looked at what happened to the business with SARS in 2003. And what we saw was there was a pretty steep decline from February, March, April, May, June, July. But from August 1st till the end of August, the V shape was quite significant to the tune where our business had never come back as fast or reached heights like that before. I think what some parts of Asia are seeing, like China, is more of a U right now. And I think it's not a V because the bottom of the U is going to be dependent upon the rest of the world. And so if we do see a peak, I think the thing to look for are peaks and the end of lockdowns, then business activity will resume a bit. And you're seeing that in China right now. We're certainly not back to normal heights, but I think if business leaders are thinking about the peak, looking for the end of the lockdowns, and then start to think about how they're going to come back in business as usual, it's going to be sluggish, it's going to be prolonged, but I think you've got to start now to look for those peaks and start prepare yourself to get ready for the rebound.
What can company bosses tell their employees who are understandably frightened about the future right now?
Well, I like to say you got to play small ball. It's a baseball analogy, but in a time like this, I think you got to break it down. Most of us, we always talk about quarterly goals. At this point, you can't be thinking about monthly goals. You can't be thinking about weekly goals. You got to be thinking about daily goals. And I think each one of us has to wake up each morning and say, what do I want to achieve today? I think leaders have to stay close to their teams. We've got to work in small groups. We've got to take small steps, and we've got to celebrate small wins. The other thing I think that leaders can do right now is change the incentive plans. Right now, again, for a lot of companies, it's a matter of survival. So if we could do more team-based incentive structures and rewards focused on getting through the short term, I think it's going to get people more interdependent upon one another. And then after we get through this, then they can go to a more normal incentive design.
Michael Distefano there with some inspiring lessons for leaders and their employees during these troubling times. Now, later